Okay, everybody, welcome to Cup of Awesomism podcast. We are so excited. We have Everett Dawkins today.
Good to be here, Biggie.
Yeah, in Peyton's world, it's Biggie. It's not Everett, it's Biggie.
I'm excited to be here as well, guys. How y'all doing today?
Good.
We're good.
Peyton wore his Florida State shirt for you.
Yep.
That's perfect. That's
and
perfect.
I wore my Florida State earrings.
Okay, well, y'all should let me know. You know, I want to do something on maybe.
So we wanted to have you on here because you are an extremely important part of our life. And I think you exemplify what athletes in America should be on every level. Peyton, went through a really difficult time a few years ago because he was starting to realize that he was different, and being autistic made him feel really out. And your friendship, I'm gonna cry, your friendship with him made all the difference in the world to him. And it really took Peyton from being shy and quiet to having a lot more self-confidence.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think you realize how much you mean to us for that.
Right. Well, and I appreciate it. When it's genuine, like you say, at first it was like, who is this crazy Florida State fan? Who is this crazy lady? But, after a while, you're like, oh, she's really sweet. You know what I mean? When my grandma passed away, you reached out to me, and we just always communicated, and we've always had the same kind of goals. So, man, being there for you guys and being there for Peyton is no problem for me at all, and I enjoy it. So I'm just glad I ran into you guys and we all met,
I am too. And, I'm a big believer. My dad always told me that the right people come into your life when you do the right things. And I believe that both of us are on a mission to make the world a better place from our hearts. And we ignore so much of the static that's around, and we try to stay on a mission to really help people. And that's one of the reasons why I love Underdog Kids Foundation so much too, is because it's not about the big glorious things of look at me, what I've done. It's about this family is hurting, or this family sometimes maybe only needs $25 to, just help them be able to go buy some groceries. And we tried to be there through Underdog Kids. And I see that spirit so in you. And I love that so much.
Right. Well, I really appreciate it, and that's the thing, even going to Underdog Kids Foundation, we've always wanted to give back, and we've never needed, the praise for it. We always just give back just because, I don't post when I give a homeless man $5. You know what I mean? We don't do that. That's just something that we do out of generosity, because if I posted that, there's no telling how many photos I would have up, you know what I mean? But we don't really do it for the glamour and the fame. We just do it to help people. We see people hurting, we come in and help, if we can, you know what I mean? If we can't help, we try to find somebody else who can help, you know what I mean? So,
that's exactly right. Yep, that's exactly right. And it's not always about money. Sometimes it's really just about caring, having a shoulder, being there, sending a sweet tweet. I see this all the time with autistic adults on Twitter. And again, I have to brag on you. There have been times that I have seen, kids, autistic adults have a birthday or they're feeling really down. And I'll say, Everett, can you just, retweet them or say something? And you always do. And it just brightens their day.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and that's the thing, it's so simple, so why not? You know what I mean? It's just a text. People are on their phone 24/7 nowadays, you know what I mean? Unless they're working or something, but their phone is not too far away from them. Send a tweet out to somebody, who's feeling down, it may need a little bit of encouragement. That's, if you have the time to do it, why not do it? You know what I mean? And it's just, I don't get why not.
I agree. I completely agree. And that, I know it means so much to Peyton when people retweet him or they say something to him. And I try really hard to explain to other people that a lot of times autistic adults feel really left out of the discussion in life. And giving that discussion, having them a part of the discussion by showing that you respect what they're putting on social media can mean all the difference in the world. And
100%.
you are so good at that. And I love that. That is one of the things. I say this about you all the time behind your back. You're a big man in stature, but you're a bigger man in heart.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, and that's the way I was brought up. That's just the tone tie. The people who came before us, like we were talking about the other day, like it's just about how people are raised, and that's continuously. That's all it will be. Like if people are taught hate, they will know hate, but if
Yep.
taught love, they will know love and spread love. So I just try to do it from my heart when I do it. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. And that,
Yeah.
you know, like I said to you the other day, this hate is so against people is so foreign to me because it was so not the way my dad raised me, you know. And I tell this all the time, but the two biggest things that my dad told me was always know what you don't know, because that way you will lean on other people to be in your circle so that you can learn, and always find commonality with everyone you meet, because if you do that, it's really hard to hate someone or dislike someone or distrust someone that you have that commonality thread with.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that exactly. So if they can't do that, then you know their mindset is just completely different. You know what I mean? So it's that
Yep,
simple.
it is.
Yep.
So Peyton wanted to ask you a few questions.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Peyton.
What is your favorite hobby other than football, E?
Oh, so my favorite hobby, I would say right now, my hobby that nobody knows about is music. That's one of my favorite hobbies that nobody knows about, and I've always did it. It's just something that I did. You know, you can say like you have your journal, but of course we have phones now with notes, and we can just write in there. So that's one thing I've always liked to do is write. That and taking care of these crazy dogs.
They are so cute.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
they are nuts. I
So
tell
cute.
you.
Go ahead, Peyton.
Have you thought about coaching in football?
Well, the thing with football is I was wrapped in football for so long that it consumed so much of my life, and I was never able to, you know, branch out and see what else I was good at. So down the future, you know, maybe so, but right now I'm just still trying to see what other talents I have because, you know, I've only put myself out as a football player. So it'll be interesting for me to see what else I can do.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead. What's your one?
What is your favorite moment as a football player?
Favorite moment as a football player, man, I would probably say the Miami game when my senior year when Najee Bradham had the big hit and I had the interception. Nobody counted, but you know it's all good.
Yeah, I'd say my favorite time in your football career was any time that you sent a Gator going backwards or a Miami Hurricane going backwards.
Yeah, I had a lot of good games you can say.
Yeah, those are definitely my favorite.
Most definitely, I agree with you. I can't stand them.
Exactly. Got any more questions?
Yeah, I got more. What did you like about FSU?
Well, the thing I loved about FSU was the tradition, and I love the challenge of us coming in my freshman year and starting a winning tradition. And that's eventually what we did before I left. You know, the next year was the national championships, and before that, we were having good seasons. So we set to do what we came in there to do. We actually did it. So it's going to be interesting to see some of these younger guys that are, you know, young but good, you know, do the same thing that I did.
Okay, what else? Do you have any more?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. He's been working on these questions. He was so cute because he was like, "Can I ask some questions?" I'm like, "Of course you can, Peyton."
Yeah, they were perfect. Those were perfect questions. Yep.
Yeah, because I mean, Peyton, when you were playing football, Peyton would sit up here, and we would hear him all the way downstairs cheering for you. I mean, like, I always knew you did something good, even if I wasn't standing in front of the TV, because we'd hear Peyton just cheering and cheering and cheering and cheering.
Yeah.
So cute.
You know it. I appreciate it, man. Definitely. I do miss the days of sitting out, out on the field, putting in work, man. But shoot, man, I do. When I watch games now, I still get butterflies, and I'm very into the games just the same way you are. So trust me, for these last couple of years, Florida State is, just like you guys, it's been rough.
Yeah, it has been. But, I think, too, we kind of got spoiled because we had such good years. I mean, like our good years at Florida State were really good years.
Yeah.
And I think, there's such a tradition there and it'll come back. I mean, I don't know. I hate seeing it because I get so depressed, but I mean, come on. I'm the person who years ago when we lost to North Carolina and North Carolina State in the same year, and we were driving to Ohio for Christmas, I refused to go through the state of North Carolina from Florida because I was being such a poor sport. Okay, seriously. I mean, my kids used to tell me I needed therapy over my Florida State addiction. And I think that's true. But,
Oh, I believe it. I get it. Trust me, I get a headache on Saturdays.
Yeah, me too. Now I have a headache before the game starts, and then during the game it gets worse.
You're right. Yeah, nowadays it's even before it starts. So yeah, and a couple days after, especially when you got Miami fans picking at you like little,
Oh, I know. Oh, I know. I had to mute a couple people that I follow on Twitter this past week because, after we really, trounced by them, I just didn't want to see them bragging. And they aren't even people that I follow for sports, but they're Miami fans. So I'm like, okay, mute.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, it's fine. You let them have their fun. Yeah, we've got them before, so it'll come back around.
Yep,
Yeah,
it sure will.
Definitely will.
I wanted to talk a little bit also about Underdog Kids. We talked a little bit before, but I want to talk a little bit more. If you could tell us about some of the ideas maybe that you have for it, because I don't think people are as aware of, what Underdog Kids Foundation is. And I really kind of want people to understand because I think we should kind of key that back up a little bit because there's so much good that came out of that foundation and I want to continue that.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. So Underdog Kids Foundation is basically a foundation that's made for, we target youth, you know what I mean? But we also deal with autism. We deal with families that have, kids that are autism and, they're less fortunate. We go to, and that doesn't have to be just them. We help people out in general. Like you said earlier, if somebody needs help paying for a meal, we get them groceries. Somebody needs, cars broke down and they can't take their kid to wherever they need to go. Well, we may help them out with an alternator. You know what I mean? That's just how we operate, and we look to really help people in everyday life, not just when it's, holiday or whatever it may be. And, when people want to do stuff for certain days, we look to help people all the time, as long as we can. And like I said earlier, if we can't, we'll try to find people to come in and help as well. But, it's as far as going forward, I believe that the right direction, like I talked to you about it before, would be actually getting into more of these inner cities and just trying to put more boots on the ground, because now you don't really see a lot of guidance. You know what I mean? A lot of people have given up on these kids because they're a lot tougher nowadays. Like they have more access than we had growing up. So we didn't have all the social media at first. You know what I mean? Now you can go and meet somebody in the next state over, no problem. Back when I was growing up, only people I knew were the people in my neighborhood, a couple people around town, and my family members from out of town. I didn't know people in other states over. So now people are able to mingle so much. So whatever from this area is going on is starting to spread to these other areas, and it's just starting to pick up more and more. So like I said, everybody's on social media now. So it's not that many boots on ground. If we can get boots back on ground, that would be a great thing. But how do we actually do that? We have to, get people can't work for free right now. It's the middle of a COVID, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
Volunteers are definitely always appreciated, but if you want something steady, some way to get money in pockets, it doesn't have to be crazy. It can actually, and it can be a W-2 for someone as well. You know what I mean? So just getting people that can be out in the neighborhood at these centers, whatever it may be, just, I don't know, wherever kids are at, somebody just watching over these kids, guiding these kids in the right direction, teaching them, yes, sir, no, ma'am, just different type of things like that. And I think that will go a long way, because right now you don't really have it. Everybody thinks, everybody gives up on them because they've only seen one thing their whole life. So it's hard to pull them away from that. But when you take people from those type of environments and sometimes get them in other environments, they see, okay, what they're doing down there is not what everybody else is doing. You know what I mean? And it's not what I should be doing. You know, I see these other people, they're moving a different way. They're a lot happy all the time. And, you know, they're just happy all the time. You know what I mean? It's just a good positive vibe. And once they get around a positive vibe, it can spread to them and they can start seeing that they want better for their lives. So I'm definitely believing that that's the direction that we should go in, and also still do our day-to-day things. You know, that's always. But even somebody to be able to come to a parent's house, you know, they call and say they're having problems with their child.
Yep.
Somebody that can go. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it would be amazing even if we could pay those guys. I don't know what minimum wage is, but if they might already have a job. This is something that they do after their job just to make extra money, just like Uber drivers. You know what I mean? They do
Yep.
stuff after their job. So it doesn't have to be, you're taking all your time, but we have a team of people who may be able to help out any time of the day. You know what I mean? So I think that would be huge because you just don't have a lot of, guidance now in a lot of these neighborhoods. And it's just,
No, I agree. And
Yeah.
I think that anybody that's listening to this podcast, I think if they're interested in helping, be a sponsorship, be a team member with us. I mean, I completely agree on this. I think so often, I was I was a single parent of 4 kids for many years. And there were days that like my kids would fight, we didn't have a perfect family. My kids would fight and they'd argue. And there were days I just felt so emotionally overwhelmed because I was working full time. I was trying to, Peyton was autistic. I was trying to deal with my other boys. I had 3 boys and 1 girl, arguing and fighting and, slamming doors. And I didn't always know how to handle it. And it's nice to maybe just have that person that you can call and say, can you just come over here, diffuse the situation? Because if you can't diffuse the situation and people stay angry, it can get bigger and bigger and bigger. And, back when I was growing up, I just turned 60. Back when I was growing up, you had a community feeling. You know what I mean? Like you had people from your church or your neighbors or I grew up in the southwest side of Chicago. And, the people, like I was born in Evergreen Park and I lived in Palos Heights growing up. We knew each other on the street. We all played together. We all knew each other. Maybe you could call a neighbor. It's not as much like that anymore. People go in their homes, they shut their garage door, and they don't even know their neighbors' names. And we sit on social media and you see people even in restaurants like this. And I love this idea that you have. And I think another thing, and you and I have talked about this is not my idea, so I'm not going to take credit for it. It's E's idea. I think we need to be more understanding of not only single parents, but we need to be understanding of parents who have a spouse or another parent in jail, in prison. We need to be out there helping these families.
Totally.
Especially we have a lot of families out there that are so hurting nowadays. And if we can't give of our time, and like you said, you know what? Everybody can't do everything for free, especially now. So many people have lost their jobs. So many people are hurting financially and emotionally. If we could get some companies to step up and be sponsors, we could train mentors, even just be on call for, hey, a voice on the other side saying, I care about you. Sometimes that's all they need.
Yep, I agree 100%. That's all they need. And being able to come in and do that for them is huge. Like you said, it's been tough for a lot of people, but a lot of these big companies have still been making a lot of money, if not more, during this crisis. So why not come in and help these people that are going to be boots on ground and actually get in these communities? Everybody says they want America to be better, but you're not putting in a good structure to make America better. More people going to jail isn't making America better. The less, more. You know what I mean? So you're taking a parent away from a family. Now you're back to what you just said. You're in a single parent family and you can't if you got 4 kids, that's rough. You know, you can't keep eyes on everybody. Somebody may want to trickle down and go down the street and hang out with some other guys in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? And things may just start trickling down from there. So as a government, if we take away something, if we take away a piece from a family, we should at least offer this family some kind of, you know, help, whether it's either, you know, we come in and for counseling, you know, they go into family, how do the kids feel? Because that's another thing. A lot of these emotions always get tied in with these kids, and it's why they lash out the way they do.
Yeah.
Nobody ever goes to counseling. Nobody speaks to anybody and let anybody knows how they feel about these certain situations, even growing up. I know grown men who still talk about that. You know what I mean? Like their dad not being in their life. You know what I mean? So, or being incarcerated, and it still affect them to this day. So how do we do that? Well, we take it a step farther because we can. You know what I mean? I'm not a person that's saying abolish police at all, because we need them. You know what I'm saying? But let's take a little bit of the pressure off of them, because they have to do so much. You know,
Right.
there's so much you got to give out traffic tickets. You have to respond to burglars. You have to, you know, de-escalate this. You got to be there. They're only humans like we are. You know, no one person can do all the jobs that they're supposed to do. You know, so let's just take a little bit of that pressure off them. Let's get people out in the communities to neighborhood responders, whatever it may be, somebody who serves, you know, a mile radius, you know, 2 miles or whatever it may be. We can put our funds into these other things, and it really can happen because it doesn't cost that much. You know what I mean? It can be a whole thing put in for it, but I just don't. I think just things need to get better, man, and everybody needs to love everybody, no matter the color of skin. You treat them the same. You said earlier, a lot of people don't even know their neighbor's name. I probably have 6 neighbors, and I speak to 2 of them, you know, so yeah, nobody speaks. Like, you know, I've sat out there and tried to, you know, I'm always, you know, going to wave or whatever may, you know, try to get anybody's attention, but that's just the way most people are nowadays. You know, nobody cares to even look the way to wave. You know what I mean? So that's what America is, and that's why we're at the point where we're at now. So like you said, it takes a village.
Well, the thing is I'm so about the public-private partnerships too. You know, this was always what I used to say about, this is what I say about autism all the time too. Okay, you have the people on the right don't want more government programs. The people on the left they want government programs. How about we do a public-private? What is wrong with taking corporations mixed in with government funds and come up with solutions to this? And let's put everybody at the table. You know, one of my big gripes, and I'm just using this from the autism perspective, one of my big gripes in America right now is I will see these companies say, well, we have a big special needs outreach. And then I'll ask them, okay, around your table, for all the people that you brought around the table, what else special needs is there? Like, who is special needs? Well, we have a mom of a child that has maybe Down syndrome, okay? And I'm like, great. Okay, who's representing autism? Who's representing a single mom of a parent, you know, of a child whose father is incarcerated, and that child has learned reading disabilities? Okay. Oh, what? We don't have that. Oh, okay. So you're really telling me you don't have all voices at the table. It's time we start putting all voices at the table, because, you know, one of the things I love so much about you, and I told you this, and I tell you this, and again, I'm going to cry. You have taught me so much, because I didn't grow up a young Black man in the South. I grew up a white girl in the North. My experiences in life are different than your experiences in life, but you and I talk, and we talk about these issues. You have taught me so much. I could go on for 13 hours just about everything I've learned from you, and how much I try to take that out to other people. And you know what? It's amazing how when we talk to each other, I don't just mean you and I, because we do, but people in general, how much we learn and how much less anger and animosity there is. And, you know, you were talking about therapy. You know, this is another, I'm going to get on my soapbox here. This is another big gripe that I have, because you have these kids And let's go back to something for Underdog Kids. So that's something that's both of us. You have a child whose father's incarcerated. He's special needs. He can't comprehend everything. So he's going through all this anger, and the mother is working 2 jobs just to put food on the table, and they need therapy. Okay, so they look around. The ones that are affordable from the state, well, we'll see you in 6 years and 9 months. Okay.
Yeah.
And the ones that aren't, she can barely afford to buy more than mac and cheese. How is she going to come up with $100 an hour to have a therapist?
It's not gonna happen. It's not.
Exactly.
Not available to everybody, and it's it's America. Everything in America should be available to everybody.
And so my thing is, okay, you know, I see all these commercials from all these companies telling us all the time about we care, we care. Okay, I got a great idea. How about you just give me 100,000 and I will go out there and show you how much change me and Everett can do with $100,000.
Listen, we would make a difference. You know what I mean? And you would actually be able to see it. That's the thing. A lot of people get that money and you never hear about them doing anything. But you see the real people when you get on social media, because it's a plus. That's a social media plus. When you see people themselves, not the company, but you see other people bragging about, you know, what they're doing, you know, what this place did for them. You know what I mean? So yeah. It's a different way to it. When we do whatever we did what we did, you know, with little, you know what I mean? Not much at all. We made it work. So yeah, we could change. I'm not gonna say we could change the world, but we could, because that would be a seed that gets planted and just starts to grow, and who knows how far it will go. So I definitely agree with you on that. Yeah, we could make a lot happen, but it's gonna take it'll take somebody who's on our same page and sees things the way that we see it, and, you know, just wants to make the world a better place. You know what I mean? Because let's be real, it's people with tons and tons of money, you know what I mean? Tons, over 10 millions, you know what I mean? Like, easily. What is 100,000 to you? You know what I mean? Like, what is that gonna?
I agree.
You know what I mean? Even, man, it's crazy, because I know if I was in that seat, you know, it'll be totally different. You know what I mean? But I get it and I understand. And sometimes people just go and donate to the bigger names and bigger brands, but I never see it, you know what I mean? And then when stuff starts getting in with the government funds, it starts getting used in other places. You know what I mean? It doesn't go to just the people. So, man, we could do a lot. You know that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I started this autism community incubator, you know, small business incubator, because there's so many autism families. And I tell people all the time, the statistics show, CDC did some numbers, and they say there's over 5.6 autistic adults in America. Okay. Those are the ones that have been tested. Some people say it's more like 7 million. Right. The numbers show it's 85% unemployment rate. Okay. The number one fear that so many autism parents have is, who's going to take care of my child when I'm gone? Okay. So if I'm 60, I die at 85, let's say I live 25 more years, Peyton's still only 46 years old. Yeah. So he's lucky. He has 3 siblings that'll take care of him. But a lot of them have only 1 sibling or no siblings. And if he lives to 80, somebody's gonna have to take care of him for 35 years. And people say to me, well, Lynn, that's what assisted living is for. I'm like, at $5,000 a month, that's $60,000 minimum a year times 35 years. You're telling me I need to put $6 million aside for my child to be able, if he has any kind of issues or anything, he's gonna need millions, okay? And that's why I started this incubator, because I wanna help autism families, especially those who are really struggling as a single parent or whatever, have side income or grow a business, and help them, because, you know, that's the other thing. The more people we give a hand up to, the more people we don't have to worry about. I don't know about the rest of America, but I don't like going to bed at night worrying about what's going to happen to people.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And like you said, it's just huge. Being able to help, that takes more stress off of the government, as it may, you know, whatever they call it, you know, they may say it's stress or whatever I mean, but if you actually put these programs out there like you're doing, like, who's doing that? Nobody.
Yep. And that,
Nobody
I
out
know,
of how many people in America? That's none.
325 million. Yeah.
Come on, like, come on. That doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't America care that enough to, do that? And they can, but they don't. People just want to make their pockets fatter, and they don't really care to help out, reach back and help out. So
No, I know. And it's very, and I get so discouraged sometimes. I just wrote a blog about this. I get so discouraged sometimes because I feel like people will support people that either are really rah rah, oh, look at me, I'm out there, raising awareness.
yeah,
And I'm like, okay, that's great. I'm glad you're raising awareness. I'm not putting you down for that. God bless you. I think it's great. But having said that, look at what Peyton and I just did for Big Lloyd. His family was virtually homeless.
yeah. Come on, nobody's
You know,
doing it. And they would have been that, hopefully not, but they would have been that way for a while if you guys didn't step in and help. You know what I mean? So that's a game changer. We need more game changers. We need more people that actually do it, not just talk about doing it. You know what I mean? So that's helping people out, man. You getting one person off of the streets, that's a blessing, because people don't even care to, you know what I mean?
no,
Help
I
them.
know. I put their GoFundMe out. I don't know how many times, and I realize that everybody puts GoFundMes, and I get all this, but it's kind of like, and this is, I know, I'm probably going to get blowback for saying this from people who listen to this, but you drive back past Starbucks in the morning and you see people with their $6 cup of coffee every morning going through that drive-through. And I think, okay, how about Monday, instead of that, you make your coffee at home and you give that $6 to this, small foundation. Tuesdays this small, because you know what, if 10,000 people did that, there would be a huge difference in America from these small foundations, because, and you and I've talked about this 1,000 times. One of the things I love about Underdog Kids was when people, like, we won't say his name, but the guy that got ripped off with the car, remember, and he has an autistic son, and he needed a vehicle to go to work, and it was their only vehicle, and the car didn't work, okay? And he came to you and I in tears. He was frantic. We got him, through us pushing it and putting money in, we got him a new vehicle. Remember, he was able to buy a different vehicle, okay? And how come we were so successful with that? Because he reached to you and me. It wasn't like, okay, put in 45 pieces of paper, we'll get back to you in 6 months. We got to sit here for, 22 hours and talk about it. You contacted me, we talked for about 15 minutes, boom, he had money in his account.
Just that easy. And that's just how we operated. We look to help people efficiently, not to, do a lot of paperwork and go and check this. Like we know what's going on, you know what I mean? And it's always a way to prevent. If people look at it as, well, it may be somebody getting over, it's a way to prevent it. We can set up a way to actually have it to where, hey, you send us this bill and we'll call in and pay the invoice. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's the way we can do it. So it's ways around everything. If it's complaints, people say, well, what about this? What if they're doing this? No, it's ways to put structures in place to make sure the money is going to where it needs to be, going. So I'm all for it. We just got to get more people in and more people flowing and just getting understanding the ideal of what it is, because we've done a lot, we've done so much, footwork, it's a foundation for a reason. It's not just for us to, you know what I mean, put all the money into. It's to get other people to put the money into. And like I said, you said it earlier about posting pictures. We don't never post pictures, but if we did, people would see like, oh, they've done how much stuff they've done, way more than a lot of other people talk about they're doing currently, or, have done. So we've did it. We got the tracker. We got the people to back us up as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting that kick backed off.
Me too.
Just have to get the right opportunity. And like you said, getting people to come in and help us, because we've pushed it for so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we did. And I'm not, we've been at this for quite a few years, and I'm never giving up. I'm like a, dog with a bone on that one. I love Underdog Kids. That's a big thing to me. And, that also, I say this to people all the time. One of the reasons why I love Underdog Kids too so much is because it is your heart, and it is a reflection of who you are as a human being. And, when Peyton wrote that blog about you years ago, I mean, that was years ago that he wrote that. What were
Yeah.
you, 16?
Yeah, I was 16 when I wrote that.
And he's 21.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Time for
you know, and it's true, you know, and then I wrote that other blog and I said in there, you know, God gave me an angel in the form of an FSU player. I mean, you really are, you have made a big difference in our life, especially Peyton's. And I will always love you for that.
I will always love you guys too. I appreciate it. You know, if I can help, why not? That's my thing. You know what I mean? And getting to know you guys has been amazing because y'all are fun. You're just crazy as I am. Because I'm pretty crazy about, you know, football too. So, you know, we go out, we work pretty well, especially so, and we also have passions to help other people, you know, and that's one great thing. When people with passions to help other people, you know, connect and meet, and beautiful things start happening. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, and I love your girlfriend too. I got to tell you, the other day when I was getting my hair cut, the strip, I was showing the hairstylist her website. I was like showing, I'm serious, because they were taking, you know, doing my hair and they had to do this deep conditioner on it. So I was just sitting there and I'm showing them all her website. I'm like, you guys got to check this out. Like she's got the best stuff, you know, and I keep telling her, okay, I'm going to lose weight because I want to lose some weight. I'm going to lose weight. And then you're dressing me because her style on a scale of 1 to 10 is a 4 million. I mean, I look at these pictures and I'm like, damn, she should be dressing everybody.
Yeah. So we've been trying to push her out as a stylist more, but you know, we're in LA, so you know, of course, it's all about who you know, and we're on into all of the, you know, rah, you know, Hollywood. So we don't really get into all of that, but yeah, she's pretty good with it, and she just is a natural, you know. When we met, she was working in a men's suit company, Ted Baker in New York, and you know, she just got from head to toe. She has it even when it comes to men. So, you know, of course, if you ask her, she gonna tell you she gets me dressed all the time, but I do dress myself sometimes.
Oh, she is. I mean, I can't brag enough about her because I mean, I seriously take her website and send it to friends and stuff too. I'm like, you got to look at this stuff. This stuff is amazing. I mean, she has never put anything out. I've never seen her put anything out that I go, yeah, no, I don't like that. I'm always like, oh my gosh. Yeah. You know, and she's my motivation for losing weight because I want to wear that clothes. So, yeah, you know, I'll probably be, you know, once I lose my weight, I'll be her biggest, you know, customer because I'll be like, okay, I need something else. I need something else.
Yeah, no, that's no problem at all. You know that for sure. Well, you know, you can do like I did, went vegan, and that helped. That goes quick. When I turned vegan, yeah, I was able to lose weight like never before, but I'm not vegan anymore. But yeah, that was a long time ago. I can't do it anymore. It was tough.
I know. I need to get serious about it. You know, my daughter said the funniest thing to me last night. Because we were talking about it, and I said, "Tell you, I gotta lose weight," and she goes, Mom, she goes, me too. She goes, you know what I started to do? She got a bike and she started riding around. You know, she lives in Dresden, Germany. And she says, but the biggest thing I got to stop doing is justifying drinking 6 beers on the weekend and saying, well, I rode my bike here. And I could not stop laughing. She's like, you know, I write off 30 calories and drink 650, but she goes, I justify, well, I rode my bike here.
It don't work that way. Yeah, definitely. Those beers are gonna do it every time. Trust me. I know.
It's just so funny. She's so like me. I mean, you know, it's so funny because one of the things that she did years ago that cracked me up, but I mean, it wasn't funny at the time, but it was. I was getting ready to go to Dubai and FSU. We were on the 1 yard line and it was like first and goal and we fumbled. And I called her and I said, who won? And she said, please don't be mad at me. I just threw the channel changer through the window because we fumbled. And I said, I didn't even care. I was more angry about us losing the game and me having to sit on a flight to Dubai for 16 hours, remembering that we lost the game than I was about the window. Okay.
I feel you. I definitely know what you mean. You have nowhere else to go, nothing else to do, stuck on a flight, and that was the best thing you heard?
Oh, yeah. I was better off not knowing, although what my favorite flight ever to Dubai was, I was I wanted to fly out of DC and I couldn't. I had to go at the last minute. And so I had to fly to Atlanta, from DC to Atlanta, and then Atlanta over to Dubai. And so I was so mad because it was adding extra time on. So I'm on the phone and I go to sit down to get on the plane, and I look straight in front of me. Gospel truth. There's Bobby Bowden. And I scream, and I'm like, Bobby Bowden. Okay, I hang up the phone to who I'm talking to. Poor man, I throw my arms around him. I'm like, I love you, Bobby Bowden. Okay, this is right after he quit. I'm saying right after he quit coaching. And he's sitting there with this little garnet and gold, tie on, and just typical Bobby. And so he goes and sits with Kim, and they're over there, and I'm calling everybody I know, and I'm saying, who do I love more than anybody else on this planet? And they're all going, Bobby Bowden, because everybody knows, my obsession with Bobby Bowden. And I'm like, yes, and he's right here. Like, I was so excited because there was Bobby Bowden. So I said to her, I called Taya, because she loves Bobby. So I called Taya, and I said, you're not going to believe who's here. And she goes, go over there and give him the phone so I can say hi. I said, no, I'm not doing that. So he heard me. So she goes, fine. She hangs up on me. So we get on the plane, we talk, he was so sweet. He was so nice to me. We get off, and he looks at me and he says, would you like to have a picture with me? And I'm like, are you kidding? So we get a picture taken of the two of us. And he says, now we should call your daughter, because he knew that, I wouldn't give her the phone because I told him. So I call her and she won't answer because she's mad at me.
Oh my God.
Because she never got to talk to him.
No, that came back to bite her.
Oh yeah, that's what I told her. I said, you have my attitude one too many times there, and that came and bit you in the butt, young lady.
She should have knew. Maybe she's calling back with them. Yeah, she should have knew. But
Yep. And I'll tell you, that was I flew to Dubai, the happiest person I've ever been on an air flight, because I had just met Bobby Bowden. And to me, and I put that picture out on Twitter every so often, me and Bobby standing there.
Oh yeah.
I love that man. I mean, what was so funny is he was just so not like, here I am, I'm Bobby Bowden. He was just like,
yeah, that's,
and,
oh yeah. Yeah,
and people would walk by and go, that's Bobby Bowden.
yeah.
Hey, coach, hey, how you doing? You know how he is.
Yep, that's how he always has been. Even when I went back and saw him a couple years ago, he's always called me the Burns kid, because I went to that's my high school name. So even when I seen him, he was like, "Hey, Burns." Hey, that's how he talks. So it was he's always just been a great person to be around, And I was the same way when he came to South Carolina on the recruiting visit. It's like, man, I don't know, serious. So it's not just you. It's, trust me, it's sure. I was the same way.
Yeah, there's just something magical about him. The thing that I always loved about Bobby was he respected people. He treated people with respect. And I think that's what we're missing in all parts of society today. We don't respect other people anymore. And
It's sad.
it is sad, and it breaks my heart. And I see people bully people on Twitter for saying the wrong thing, or thinking different than them, or being special needs, or not dressing the way other people dress. And it's like, that's why I know you've heard me say this. I always say, I wish people would reflect instead of deflect. Because if you reflect on yourself, you're not going to deflect that anger towards other people so quickly.
Completely agree.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing with that is that people are we have to also remember, when we were in school and we were around a lot of people, that's basically social media. It's like school for everybody to chirp in and give their opinions. Growing up, we had people in school that were just boneheads.
Yep.
Now they have a Twitter account.
Yep.
So that's what the case is. We have to know who is who. And, when we talk and have dialogue with people and they can talk, straight up and, just say things in a way that doesn't, just offend everybody, that's huge. Everybody's not going to be able to do that, because that's the only way that they have. Like I said, there's still a lot of boneheads out here. So it's crazy. I don't think it'll ever happen, because a bonehead's going to be a bonehead forever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some people do switch up after a while. They see what they want to see. But when you put facts in somebody's face and they defer and go to something else and try to bring up something else, you know what I mean? To defer away from what you just said, those are the people you should stop talking to right there, because
I agree.
you won't get through to them and you're wasting your time. You know what I mean?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And that's one of the things that, like I taught Peyton too, is I said, if somebody starts bullying you on there, you just immediately block it. Don't waste your time, because if somebody thinks it's cute to bully an autistic adult, don't waste your time. They obviously feel so low about themselves that they want to bully somebody else.
And that's one of the things I always about these people.
Yeah.
It's people just say things, and you know, that's one thing that I hate about social media. People just say whatever they want to say, and you know, I told Lynn, I think I told Lynn to tell them to send them to my way so I can go holler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, who are you? Know, like, are you that crazy? You know what I mean? Why go on picking on other people because somebody's been picking on them maybe, and they want to put it on somebody else. So you know, they try to find somebody to do that with, but. I mean, that's just terrible to me. You know what I mean? I never liked that. So, send them my way.
Yeah.
It's all right. Don't say, just block them, man, and get them out the way. Just block them and get them out the way, man. People are nuts, and social media, you can't control what people say.
No.
You know, they'll say stuff on social media they won't say to you in your face. So
that's exactly right. And you know, that's the other reason why I when, you know, with Underdog Kids, one of the things I loved about it is we tried to push saying, look, you know, you may be the underdog for, you know, a variety of reasons, but you have people that want to we're on your side. We're here for you. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes too, that's why I love the name Underdog Kids too, is because, you know, it's kind of like with Awesomism. You know, I've had people say to me, well, I think I'm an awesome mom, but I just don't broadcast. I'm like, I'm not saying I'm an awesome mom. I'm saying I tell Peyton he doesn't have autism, he has Awesomism because he's the awesome one. You know, he knows he's different and he's the awesome one. And I've always told him that. And so I love when you have a name too that portrays, look, we're here for you. We're here to make your life better.
Yep. Yeah, right. And it gets straight to the point, you know, and just like yours, mine gets straight to the point, the Underdog Kids Foundation. You really don't even have to ask me what the foundation does, because just from the name, you know what I mean? Most people, but you know, of course I let them know, but it tells you right there. And we really go out and help people. Like, man, I can't even go back to name. I just used to post stuff on Facebook, who needs help with, you know, 3 families that need help. You know what I mean? We did things for families and we never posted pictures. We never asked for them to shout us out. We told the parents to let their know the kids that the gifts came from them, not from us, because that's going back to that mental health as well. Some kids are gonna be like, well, hey, why my parents aren't getting me these gifts, and all of my friends' parents are getting them gifts, and we're getting stuff from other places. You know what I mean? So I don't need a big logo plastered on the gift that says, hey, this came from, you know, I'm not gonna send any shots out at any of the other foundations, but I don't need it posted on there. I don't need it. We just need it to get done. You know what I mean?
That's exactly right. Well, like the time that we helped the one family out because she didn't have the money to take her child to a walk-in clinic and he was really sick. And, you know, we never put that anywhere. You know, we didn't tell who it was, but it was a serious situation. And we paid for them to, you know, go to the walk-in clinic and get medication. And, you know, it was one of those situations where it wasn't about you and me. It was about making sure that he was okay.
Yep, 100%. That's what it's always about. It's never about me and you, because if it was, we would plaster it everywhere. And you know what I mean? We would do all of that. I think it'll come to a point where we do have to use social media and stuff just to spread the love and get it out there, you know, that what we're doing, so it can migrate over to different places, but we'll never be there just passing, you know, not the way other people do it. You know what I mean? I do understand that if we're blessed enough to get to that point where we have those big sponsors coming in and we need to show other people what we're doing, because the more we can help other people, the more money we have, the more people we help. That's simple. You know what I mean? That's always the case. So we will have to get to that, but when that time comes, we'll still do it in the same manner. This didn't come from Underdog Kids Foundation. This came from your parents. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the case. I don't care if somebody wants to say, well, this family, they actually do have this and that, but you know, if we're able to help families out, we're going to do it, you know, point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? Why not? You know, it may be a couple people who, you know, get in between, and maybe even that do get away with maybe, you know, their case isn't the certain situation they're telling us, but how many people did we help?
Right.
You know what I mean? How many people did we help? And should we really reflect and look on, oh, this person was doing, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
how many people have we helped when we've only, say if we helped 100, 200 people, 200 people, I'm not going to, you know, really waste time and energy, because that's what that would be at that point. You're wasting time and energy trying to figure out if 2 or 3 people out of those 200 story wasn't exactly what it was. You know what I mean?
That's exactly right.
We're trying to help more people. We're too busy to look back. And you know what I mean? So that has to be the attitude, that has to be the approach. And I just hopefully it all comes to play.
Well, and also we have to look at it too of, you know, if somebody really has to, I hate to say it this way, but if they feel better about themselves trying to get one over on us by getting $100 or $200 to help, you know, because they were lying to us to go out drinking instead of really paying their electric bill or whatever, that's on them. You know, I'd rather not sit there and fret and fury over those and go help the other 199 that get up in the morning and go, you know what, I can at least breathe today because I know I have food in the pantry. I know I can put my kids, you know, they have a warm coat on and they're going to get to school okay. That's, you know, a full tank of gas in their car, a full, you know, food in their belly, and a safe roof over their head. I mean, that's like, you know, Big Lloyd's family that we just got them this new mobile home. And somebody said to me, well, why in the world did you, you know, try to help them get a full new mobile home? Why didn't you just put them up somewhere? I said, because it was a temporary solution. I worked so hard to make sure that they got into something that 3 months from now, I wasn't getting up in the morning stressing because their time was up somewhere and they were still going to be on the street. They're going into a brand spanking new single wide mobile home, all new appliances, you know, everything is brand spanking new. The mom has physical disabilities and health issues. Big Lloyd is autistic, blind in one eye and deaf in one ear. I'm sorry, I can't have them on the street. You know what I mean? I need to help them.
Yeah, hotel isn't even sufficient for them. So it's chess, not checkers. The checkers is going to go get them a room. You know what I mean? We're looking bigger than that. That's the thing. We want to do more than just the minimum, you know, and that would have been minimum and it would have been temporary. It'd make you feel good about, you know, helping out, but that family's going to be right back on the street. You know what I mean? That was amazing, you know, to be able to come through in the clutch like that for them.
Absolutely. And that's why we want to do this podcast today, is because we wanted people to kind of, you know, you and I, we don't talk enough on social media about how much we do behind the scenes for people, and we never will, because it's just not who we are. Yeah. You and I will converse with each other about certain things, and you know things that I do, and I know things you do, and we're out there. But I wanted people also to hear that, hey, look, you know, if you're listening to this podcast, you want to help us with Underdog Kids, or you want to help Awesomism on, because we do a lot of these things hand in hand and work together to come join us. You know, if you want to be somebody that says, hey, guess what? I'll give $5 a month. That's all I can give. Guess what? We'll find somebody that needs that $5 a month. You know, I mean, it's just people, like I said to you, when I drive by, I know it's selfish, but when I drive by Starbucks and I think, boy, if just 10,000 less people, and nothing against Starbucks. I mean, Starbucks probably gonna be like, how dare you talk about us? You know, I mean, I'm just talking coffee shops in general. It's like, please make the coffee at home, save that, and each day for a month, give it to a different small charity. And if you pass that on, how different we could make America.
Yeah, and then we can make it great. And see, Starbucks would be more, the right way to approach that would be for Starbucks to come in and do a sponsorship.
That's exactly right. There you go.
There you go. That would be the approach to take when you're a multi-million billion-dollar company. You know what I mean? So we just need more people taking that approach to it versus looking at it like, oh, why are you, you're trying to cut down Starbucks sales? You know what I mean? Well, how about we do it this way? And we can, and that actually looks good on them. More people actually start seeing of course, Starbucks always is going to be packed with a line, but the other people that might not go there that often, okay, Starbucks sponsors, yeah, I go buy it. You know what I mean? It just spreads and it just continues, and that's just love, just flows. It just keeps going. I
agree. And that's exactly what, that's what Underdog Kids is about. That's what Awesomism Mom and Team Awesomism are about, is it's really about taking the positives and spreading it elsewhere. You know what I mean? I mean, if I had my way, I would get up every morning and really help somebody. And I try to help them in little ways. Like, I sent the other day, I had, somebody had sent me this and I thought it was so funny. And it said, I have my cranky pants on, but on the good side, it makes my butt look fabulous. And, and I sent that to a bunch of women who I knew were going through kind of a tough time. And every one of them wrote me back that they were really laughing. Okay. And I said, and one of the women, I love her to pieces. She's just one of the sweetest people. And she like hardly ever complains. She says to me later, you're not going to believe this, but I was literally sitting in the ER with a migraine that wouldn't go away. And you sent me that. And she said, it just took my mind off of it. And I laughed. And she said, it just like you took the stress for a few minutes away. And I thought, isn't that what life should be about?
100%. I agree. People don't know what like that stress or whatever it may be can like do to your body. You know what I mean? So you coming through that's a mind opener for her. So now she can maybe go and say, well, I might need to just listen to some music and just relax, kick my feet up, take a hot, shower, take a hot tub bath and just relax and ease her mind. And, she probably wouldn't even need it to go to the hospital. You know what I mean? So she didn't know that about herself. She was like, laughs killed the headache. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
That's great. That's great to be able to have people come in. Like you called me the other day and I was upset. You called me and helped me out because I was furious. You know what I mean? But it's just good being able to have people like that to come in and check on you and help you out in certain times.
Yep. And every time I see you, sometimes you put out music lyrics and I'll be like, are you okay? And you're like, it's a song.
Yep, it's a song. Yes, ma'am. I like this story.
But because I see them and I immediately check in on you to make sure you're okay. But I knew you were upset the other day, and that's why I called you. Because I was like, you know what? It's not just being there for somebody when the things are good. It's really being there when the times are tough.
I agree, 100%. Yeah,
And and that's why we love you, because you were there for Peyton. We will always be there for you. And you have made a difference in our life. And I hope we've made a difference in yours.
Definitely have, man. You know that. I love talking to you guys. I definitely always reach back out. Y'all always hit me back when I hit you guys. So it's always been love, and everybody has always tried to help and find out how we can help other people. And I've just been able to see Peyton grow into a young man so quick. So it's just, I've been blessed to be able to be around him because Peyton is awesome. As you said, he really is. So, I just, man, I love you guys, like I said earlier.
Yeah, we do too. And, and if you're listening to this podcast, check us out, Underdog Kids Foundation, and check out Awesomism Mom and Team Awesomism. And we would love to have any and all ideas for help, for support, financial, and anything anybody can do. Because, sometimes people come and say, I didn't even know you guys were out there. What can I do to help? And, reach out to us. And thank you so much for doing this podcast.
No problem. Y'all know it's my pleasure. Any way I could come through and help, and definitely would love to come put my presence on here because I know you guys have been doing it for a while. So keep up the good work and keep encouraging other people and just keep being the amazing people that you are, no matter what nobody tells you.
Thank you. You
Thank you
too.
so
And
much.
everybody that's listening, one final favor, go to my website and look up the blog called My Hero by Peyton.
Yes, please do.
And make sure you have tissues because that's where he talks about Big E.
Yeah, I had to take out the box myself.
Yeah. But when he sent me that and I read it, I was bawling. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, that was beautiful, man. I really do appreciate that. It's just me being me. You know what I mean? This is what I expect from other people as well, so.
Yep.
Really appreciate
Well,
it.
that's what I love about you, is that you don't hold other people to a higher standard than you hold yourself. And that is something that I've always, for all the years that we have been friends and I've known you, that is you to the T. You always hold yourself to the higher standard. And I love that so much about you.
Yes, ma'am. I try to. I do my best. Yes, ma'am. No matter the circumstance.
Yep. Well, give her girlfriend a hug for us. And, oh, yeah, give a shout out to her business.
Okay, so yeah, also follow my girlfriend's page on Instagram, House of Bell. It's spelled Haus of Belle, Belle. And the style, she's pretty great. So I don't think y'all will be disappointed. So definitely go check her out and show her a little support. And we definitely appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you, E. We love you.
Thank you so much.
Guys, y'all take it easy and have a great day.
You
Go
too.
Noles.
You too.
Yeah, go Knowles.
Go Knowles.
Bye.
Bye.